Hi guys, I wanted to share with you some tremendously exciting news about major changes in the kata refereeing system, at least as it pertains to the GKR World Cup Opens division, and I'm very optimistic that this system might be adopted across GKR in future competitions. So there are a number of changes. Basically, at the moment, kata is refereed where you have a division of, say, 8 people, and each of the 8 competitors performs a kata of their choice, and then the referees score those kata according to whatever they think they're worth, ranging ranging from 7.0 to 9.0, with 8.0 being the median score. And the big problem with that is that each referee needs to remember the worst and best performer and score relative to that. And what happens is that in larger divisions of 16 or more people, especially like in the World Cup, where you can have divisions of 32 or even 64 people, that the scores tend to drift as the competition goes on. The scores either get higher or lower as the referees forget what's gone before, and this is really not very fair. So the new system is I believe it's much more in line with WKF World Karate Federation rules, although I'm not sure. But what happens is every single competitor will compete against another competitor. So what happens is 2 competitors go into a much larger ring together. They both perform their kata simultaneously, and they don't have to be the same kata. And then a panel of judges arrayed around the ring will give them will award one side or the other the winner. So instead of giving an absolute score, each performance is simply relative to the other person. And in a sense, this is a much fairer system, because all you have to do is beat one other person to get through to the next round, and the rounds are arranged exactly the same as kumite, so it's a knockout competition. Now that in itself is an excellent evolution, because it means that the competitors have to have better focus. But the really interesting thing is that we're also adopting what's known as a repechage system, and repechage is a really intriguing system that basically says, at the moment, if you are unlucky enough to meet the winner in the first elimination, then the next best person could conceivably be knocked out in the first round. So the second best person in the entire competition could meet the best person in the first round, get knocked out, and then they don't get a medal at all. And so what the repechage system says is every loser in the main division then goes into the repechage division, and then they get to compete again for bronze medal position. So essentially, supposing you had a division of 32 people, 16 people in the first round will go into the repechage division, and the repechage ring will then compete to see who gets bronze. And this is a much fairer system than simply eliminating people straight away and they don't get a chance to kind of show their stuff again. But what I really love about the new kata system is that in the first round, everybody has to do one of the Q grade katas, not counting first and second kata. So you have to do either Cipher, Basodai, Suyunchin or MP. And this means that people can't just concentrate on some flashy fourth dan kata to try and wow the judges. You have to keep your whole repertoire kind of polished, as it were, and I really love this, because I actually quite like the Q grade katas, but it's very, very hard to do well in a competition with a Q grade kata. And then in the second round, assuming you get through in subsequent rounds, you can do any kata except the one that you just did. So you can do a black belt kata, or you can do a Q grade kata again. So this means that not only do you have to keep your Q grade katas polished, but it also means that you have to be capable of doing 2 good katas plus a potential knockout kata. And again, I really like that. Now the judging system with flags also means that I guess it depends on how you interpret it, but you know, in some competitions where you have some very good competitors and some who are not so good, and the not so good ones really get destroyed by really bad scores. Say, especially in the lower grade divisions where the range is from 6 to 8, and you get somebody who's really awful and they're getting like 6.5 or 6.2 if they forget their kata. And now they don't get a score, they simply get a yes or a no decision. And the other thing that I really love, supposing you have 5 judges, which is one number that is being mooted. Please don't take this as gospel, but I believe it's been considered that they may have 5 judges. That greatly decreases the influence of a biased judge. Now, we all like to think there won't be any bias, but it's very hard to be completely non-biased and professional if your own students are up in front of you, or people from your country or whatever. And sadly there have been more overtly biased judges. So now, when it's only 1 in 5, for example, then that eliminates the danger from that as well. Yeah, a number of good reasons why the repertoire system and the new kata system is going to be really excellent news for everybody. And I also think that by forcing people to have to perform lower grade katas as well, it kind of redresses the balance. Currently, if you're say a 3rd dan or a 2nd dan and you go and perform a kata that's a very high grade, it often seems to be the impression that the judges are less familiar with the minutiae of those kata, so they perhaps judge them less harshly. And if you're doing a lower grade kata, everybody knows them inside out and they can rip you to shreds. And now those lower grades can really shine in the kata that everybody have to do, and potentially knock out these more experienced martial artists before they even get to the black belt kata. So I think tremendously exciting news. I'm really optimistic that this is going to be introduced into competition in general. I guess one potential impediment that may stop that happening is that it will, of course, potentially double the amount, well, at the least it will double the amount of time that a division takes, because everybody has to do 2 kata, and everybody well, half of the people will be in a 2nd division, so whereas before each person just gets to go once, now each person gets to go twice at least. But I'm hoping that can be ironed out so that kata is given the same value now as kumite. You take care, guys. Hi guys, one other thing that I forgot to mention about the new competition format is that GKR is increasingly reaching out to become part of the broader karate community. For a long time GKR has been insular and you know, just kind of faced inwards, and given that we were a young style, I think that wasn't perhaps a bad decision. But many of us want the opportunity to go and compete on the broader circuit, and equally importantly, GKR wants to gain credibility on the world circuit. I don't think, you know, that we're expecting to win much in the short term, but I think that if we're to elevate our game to become world-class martial artists alongside any other style, that we need to start dipping our toes into the water, which we're doing. And I think that the new competition format really prepares us for that. Yeah, you know, it just gets us used to a more universal system that is used in the world circuit. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please take the time to rate and comment, and it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe. Thank you.